Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm mrburnsfanclub. Today I'm going to be doing a chatty paint with me and talking about why I've decided to only paint one subject for an entire year. Here I'm working on a portrait of one of my cats using Clip Studio Paint on a Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 Plus. This is only a recent purchase and I'm really loving using it, which also conveniently sets up the story of why I'm focusing on only one subject. I've been creating art since I was a teenager, but several years ago I had to completely give it up when I became disabled. I couldn't do traditional art anymore. The whole process, from getting the paints out to clearing them away, was just too difficult to manage. Fast forward to a couple of months ago, and I decided to invest in a tablet to see if I could do digital painting. That takes us to now. I've been able to take it up again. Big problem though. My skills after years of not practicing have become super rusty. I felt overwhelmed when I first picked up a pen again because I just had no idea where to start. One thing that I have a lot of reference photos of is cats because I live with 4 of them. And yeah, that's a live with, not an own. Any cat obsessee will tell you it's usually the cats that own you. So I started off by drawing just my cats. It was the only thing that I had around that I had ample reference of. I found immediately it was super useful. It got rid of that fear of the white paper. You all know what I'm talking about. I wasn't sat there umming and ahhing about, what shall I paint? Finding reference photos online, trying to get things like anatomy correct, which I'm really not good at. I definitely have some experience of knowing how to draw basic stuff, but I'm definitely not the best. Right now, though, is not the time for me to need to do that. I've only just started doing art again. The main reason, really, is that I want the chance and the opportunity to explore new styles without being bogged down by subject matter. Sometimes I feel like we can become overwhelmed by trying to choose what to actually paint or draw. I mean, there's a whole world on our doorstep of things we can observe and draw and paint and make artwork out of, and it can be super overwhelming. I really just want to be able to get into the groove of just creating, pure creating. I feel like choosing one subject matter to focus on really gets you out of your comfort zone style-wise. It's going to get me out of my comfort zone because I'm going to be so limited by the subject matter that I'm basically going to be forced into trying out different ways to approach the art in order to make it exciting. Now, obviously I'm going to love drawing and painting my cats. I'm obsessed with them. But let's be real, an entire year of the same subject, most people are going to get bored. So how to overcome that is going to be finding out new styles and new ways of doing the art. And I think that's something that I never really did with my art in the past. I found a style that I enjoyed and I felt that I was good at when I was younger. And I kind of just stuck with it because that was what was successful. And I really want to get out of that mindset and try things that maybe I'm unsure about. And maybe I'm even scared to try in case it just totally fails. And then it's kind of really important when you're an artist is to fail and to fail regularly because you learn so much from it. But sometimes if we're failing at the first hurdle, say you're drawing something that you're not very familiar with, anatomy is a good example. Super hard to get right, takes years of practice to master. Then it can sometimes be really overwhelming and disheartening when you can't even get the initial kind of base for the art down. And then how am I going to be able to feel like I'm free to explore using new paintbrushes, new pens, new colour palettes, changing up mediums, things like that, if I've not even been able to get the subject matter correct? Now, this might just be me, But I become so frustrated if I can't get the initial drawing of something correct and to look right. And it sort of does that thing where you don't want to carry on with the drawing or the painting because you just can't get the basics down correct. The subject that I've chosen of cats, I'm already pretty familiar with how to draw them. That's not something that I have to worry about. It's going to leave me free and open to explore my style in ways that I really want to. I also feel like I haven't yet found my niche, and that's something that I really want to do. Now, I'm only 2 months into this year-long subject matter restriction, so I don't know what my niche is going to be. It could be anything. But I'm hoping by the end of it, I will have learnt what I really want and like to create artwork about. I have no idea if by the end of it, I'm even going to want to paint another cat again. Maybe cats will be my niche. Maybe it'll be something completely different. Something that emerges from being restricted by the subject. That's the entire point. Now, this isn't something that I'm recommending like everyone just goes out and does. I think if I hadn't had years away from doing any art, then I probably wouldn't be doing this. But I feel like it could be really useful for anyone that feels like they are stuck in that rut of the things that I just described. Like, a year's a long time. It doesn't have to be done for a year, but maybe just a short duration of time of restricting yourself in one aspect of your art in order to allow the other aspects to flourish. I've already felt in the 2 months that I've been doing this so far that several aspects of my art have improved or changed in ways that I didn't think that they would beforehand. I've always wanted to be more adventurous with my colour palettes, and I've definitely seen that has been happening already. I'm using much brighter colours that I wouldn't normally put together, and I'm also learning a lot about colours and the way in which things go together, things don't go together. I've definitely made some fails and some mistakes already with just like absolutely awful garish colours. But that's like part of the process, and that's exactly what I wanted. I've really been able to explore this style of much looser brushstrokes as well, which is something that I always used to do with my art, but I don't feel like I was very confident with it. I think sometimes when you look at art, you can tell if the artist was confident in their mark making. And that's something that I just feel I was always a bit nervous about. I've really improved that in the 2 months that I've been doing this already. That's just been so fun to see. So I guess what I'm trying to say is all of my paint and draw with me's over the next few months on this channel and all of my social medias is just going to be cats, like pre-warning. So that's why I'm going to be just doing one subject matter for an entire year. I'm really excited to see where it takes me and to see what I develop out of it. It might seem a bit extreme, but I love a good challenge. Let me know if you've done anything similar before. I'd love to hear what kind of challenges you've set in order to develop your art style. And enjoy me finishing up my painting of one of my cats here. And this one's really cool. I love the like bright blue pen that I had in the end, especially with the whiskers. I think it looks really awesome. That is one thing though that like I always forget with these cat portraits. I always forget to add the whiskers, and then I've saved it and done my signature and everything, and I'm like, it is missing something. And then I look back, I'm like, the whiskers. Really need to make a checklist or something that I go through at the end of doing any painting and have whiskers on there in like bold and red. Make sure that I tick it off because it's just something that I always forget. I don't know why. I think it really finishes off the portraits too. Like, it gives you that final pop. So it's annoying when I do forget about it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and for listening me just totally ramble about this subject. Please like, comment and subscribe. It would mean absolutely everything to me and it would super help me out. Also, check out my other social medias. I'm going to link them in the description. I have an Instagram, a ArtStation account, and also a TikTok. I'm pretty active on all of them. Until next time.